Any questions?
Jason, in terms of the number of instances, if you will, I guess the best way to describe that, for a single trip permit, repetitive permit, and annual permit, do you have any numbers on how many of those firms or those kinds of events occur?
From the city of Dixon, all of our, through this informal and the pilot program, all of the permits we've been issuing are single trip permits. And it's basically, as I stated, a phone-in notification process. The pilot program is a form that they're filling out and sending in, but it's for the single permit only. So companies that would potentially be purchasing an annual permit are currently applying for single permits. And there are several permit agencies, 3 that I'm sure of, that this year have pulled multiple permits that would, in fact, pull annual permits.
Okay, I know when the various parts to the windmills come through, the picture that you showed was the large blade, but then there's the stand and all of that other stuff. Those, even though they come through 3 or 4 times over a period of time, the way it is now, they have to get a permit each time they would want to do that. So if they were to do an annual permit, they could have 8, 9, 10, 15, or 20. There would be no limit on the number?
Correct. As long as they're not exceeding the dimensions that's on their annual permit, they would be able to move through the city infinite times through the year. It's a duration of 1 year.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
So the permit for the annual is, like you say, annual, that they renew it every year.
Correct.
And do they come back to you and submit anything that tells you what they're moving, or do you just give them a permit to move in the same type of item and they don't have to come back and show you the route, or do they recontact you?
We set limits for our annual permits at the maximum allowed widths that for the truck routes that we have in the city of Dixon. Right. So as long as a permit carrier was, a permit holder was moving within those maximum dimensions for height, weight, width, etc., they would be able to move without notifying the city. And that's why the cost is actually higher for an annual permit than the others, because it requires a little bit more watching for the moves and making sure they're staying on the correct routes.
Well, if there's no incentive for them to notify you, how do you know what they're going to do in advance?
We have
some parameters that they have to fill in?
They have to.
Certain days?
We do have certain days. We don't allow moves on Saturday and Sunday on annual permits, and we don't allow moves on holidays on any permit.
Right.
So where does the highway patrol come in terms of escorting those large loads through there?
All of the moves on State Route 113 are required to have a state transportation permit. The flagging cars, the pilot cars that they're required to have, are not able to stop traffic in the opposing direction. So that's where CHP comes in. They are the only body that's able to stop traffic the way that they have in the downtown section.
So when that occurs, that would trigger a notification process then, correct, with the city?
Correct.
Or with the local PD?
Correct.
Okay. Any other questions? Jason? Okay, Jason, thank you. We'll open it up for public comment. Anybody in the audience wish to speak on this agenda item? Seeing none, I'll bring it back to council. Is there? We have 4 issues. Is there a preferable? I'm not sure, since there's multiple resolutions, do we need to take each one separately, or can we do them all in one fell swoop?
You may do them all if you wish.
Is there any other discussion of hearing none other? Then I'll entertain a motion to proceed with this agenda item. And
so moved.
It's
seconded
to adopt a requested action proposed regarding special permits. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Council members Kaler,
Aye.
Caramello,
Yes.
Pappas,
Aye.
Fuller,
Aye.
Mayor Batchelor.
Aye. Okay, that takes